Hey guys, welcome to Rosie's Dessert Spot. In this tutorial I'll be teaching you how to make this rainbow drip cake. Applying a little bit of buttercream to my cake board here and applying my 6-inch cake on top. And then using a spatula just to kind of press that frosting up and over the sides, flattening it out so that I can lay my next layer of cake on top and it's all even. And continue this process up the whole cake. Now I've used 3 6-inch cakes for this cake, 2.5, so I've cut them all in half and I've used 5 layers of that cake in total. Then to create a crumb coat I'm adding a bit of buttercream to the sides, pressing it all in at the top as well, and this just traps any loose cake crumbs. That way it doesn't get into our final layer of frosting. Then use your spatula or even a bench scraper and go around the side of the cake just to neaten it up and to lift that extra lip of buttercream. That way we can remove it by kind of dragging it to the center of the cake. Then pop that into the freezer for about 10 to 15 minutes just so the cake is nice and set. And then add on your last layer of frosting. Kind of flattening it out, pushing out to the sides, and then adding a healthy amount to the sides of my cake. And we'll be removing most of this frosting as well, so don't be too alarmed by the amount I'm adding here. Then go in with your bench scraper and rotate the cake and then remove most of it, or maybe about 2/3 of it anyway. And then when it's nice and smooth, put your bench scraper under some hot water and go around the cake again just to really smooth it all off neatly. Then remove that extra lip of frosting at the top again like we did last time, just bring it into the center. And then to create that water kind of colour effect, just adding blotches of colour all over my cake. I've used turquoise, some yellow, some red and some regal purple, just colouring my regular coloured buttercream with some gel food colour. And the aim here is to try and get as much of the cake covered with the buttercream. You don't want to have any kind of, I guess, spots that are empty, because as you go around the cake, those will become pockets or just holes of air. So try to fill in as much as you can. And then go in with your bench scraper, go around one end, and then as you go around again, go in the opposite direction, because now if you go in the same direction every time, you'll end up spreading that colour. I wanted to keep these blotches of colour more or less in the same spot, so every time I go around the cake, I go in the opposite direction, and you get that really pretty kind of not overly blended look. Clean up the top, and then make your chocolate ganache. So I've got some dark chocolate buttons with some cream, zapped it in the microwave until it's melted, and now I'm adding in some black gel food colour and some oil so my chocolate doesn't seize because we've added gel food colour. And I'll have the recipe for this in the description box below as well for the buttercream. It's nice and smooth. Pour it over your cake and use a spatula just to kind of shift it over to the edge of the cake. Now I'm not letting it drip completely over because I want to create the drips myself in a piping bag with the ganache. And I like to do it this way because it gives me a lot more control over how many drips are on the side of my cake and also the length of those drips. So go around the whole cake until you're satisfied. Then I let that sit for about 10 minutes and then I add on my decorations. So I've got some giant candy kind of pops here, and I'm going in with some white buttercream and a 1M tip, just making little stars here and there. Although I did aim to keep most of the decorations on one side of the cake. Chop on some candy coated chocolate balls, and here I'm popping in some gold mirrored stars that I've cut out. The reason why I've added these is just to add a little bit of height into my cake. I think it looked really, really nice. It also goes in with the whole kiddish kind of theme. And you're done. Add in some more colour if you like, and you're sweet. Make an extra tall cake decorated with some black dripping ganache, loaded with some lollies, some mirrored star toppers, and the whole watercolour sort of kind of look on the cake. I think when you're doing a drip cake, it's really important to choose a good colour for the drip. A lot of people usually go to the standard, which is like a white chocolate ganache drip. I think, I don't know, add colour to it, just really make it different. I think black helps to contrast against all the colours in here and makes everything just pop. So be playful with it, just really experiment. And if you like little cake toppers here, little star toppers, I do sell those on my website, rosiesdessertspot.com. Thanks again for watching, and I will catch you next time.
Yeah.
There you go, your muffin replacement.
It better be good, man.
It's freaking awesome, alright?
Throw it.